Why aren't more musicians audiophiles? I don't know. My name is Steve Guttenberg, and I am the audiophiliac. Last week at the New York Audio Show, or a couple of weeks ago, depending on when I post this, at the New York Audio Show, I was talking to this jazz drummer about this issue, and he's an audiophile. He didn't think he was. I thought he was. Anyway, it's that question sometimes: is anybody an audiophile? Who are you? How do you know you are an audiophile? Subject for another YouTube video. But anyway, I said, musicians listen to music, recorded music, in a different way than non-musicians, because they tend to listen to performance, how well the music is being played and what the instruments are, and they can tell if it's nylon strings or nylon strings or steel strings, that kind of stuff. They zero in on that stuff that's lost to the average audiophile, but they hear that. Audiophiles who aren't musicians, who don't play, they just listen to music as music without analyzing it. So we are really coming to the listening experience from different directions. But anyway, this drummer said something that really, really, really surprised me, because he said, maybe there's more drummer audiophiles than there are other types of musicians who are audiophiles, because drummers are more like listeners. I'm fascinated by this idea, than other musicians. They're keeping time, they're playing, they know the changes, but they're not listening to melodies and harmonies and things like that. So they're more spectators, and I thought that was interesting. I may be totally screwing this up exactly what he meant to say, but that's how I took it. And really, really nice guy. But that thing of how audiophiles listen and musicians listen is never at a loss for a fascination for me. I keep coming back to that, because listening is very complicated. I think that's what's going on. It works on so many different levels. And I've talked about this before, that I'm really hung up about sound as a separate thing from music. I once heard about that Brian Eno, the producer and musician, when he was a little kid and he heard Elvis Presley on the radio for the first time, he got hung up on the reverb and the echo used on those early records, those 50s records, because it didn't sound natural, and it caught his ear, and he's like, how did they make that sound? So the sound, Elvis was good, no doubt about it, but little Brian Eno listened past Elvis and thought about that sound on that guitar. How do they do that? Me too. I didn't get to grow up to be a producer, but I had the same issues. I listened to music and heard sound. I heard reverb. I heard bass that does not exist in nature. I heard all sorts of things in records that kept me coming back for more and more and more, because I wanted to figure out basically how it's done. What is that? I mean, of course, then there's always the Phil Spector wall of sound, where he doubled and tripled and quadrupled the same instrument playing in unison to create a bigger, deeper sound in his wall of sound. I don't know if I heard of that expression when I was a kid, that Phil Spector had a wall of sound. Maybe by the time I was in my teens, I knew. And then there's always the Motown wall of sound. But anyway, I could go on. You get the gist. If you're fascinated by sound and you're a musician, or you're not, please leave some comments. If you like these videos, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Please share them, etc., etc. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.